today is Swiss-Chilean DJ, producer and label head Luciano, whose journey from Santiago's underground to Ibiza's global stage has made him a cornerstone of electronic music, a pioneer of the microhouse movement and founder of the influential Cadenza label. He's known for blending minimal techno with rich Latin influences, earning over 20 industry awards and the title of Ibiza Icon. He also has a weekly show on Ibiza Global Radio, so Luciano is an artist very close to our heart. With decades behind the decks, legendary residencies across the island, and a deep commitment to creativity, culture and community, Luciano remains one of the most influential figures shaping the sound of the global underground.
Please welcome Mr. Magic Luciano.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Feel flattered. Thank you so much.
Good.
Appreciate
It was good. Huh?
Very
What did I miss?
No, nothing much. It was much of everything that, and I feel very flattered and grateful. So thank you.
That is absolutely true. As I told you before we had a quick talk behind the scene, and I was there in 2005, I guess, and you said you confirmed that at Circo Loco while you was playing this music I'd never heard before, because I'm more soulful oriented DJ, you know. Yeah. But I was like, oh my God, this guy is wicked.
But you know that's the kind of the funny thing and the most inspiring part of I would say that I always had with the relationship that I had with Ibiza was those years, because probably I came first time here was 98, I think 97.
Okay. Explain me, when you came, what happened?
No. I was just, I was actually, I grew up in South America. I was in Chile most of the time, and my career started there. And Ricardo and I, so I met Ricardo in Chile, because we were living kind of close in a neighborhood that was close, and my best friend of Chile was the smaller brother from Dandy Jack, which is another producer from Chile that was an exiliated Chilean and was living in Frankfurt and was a friend of another exiliated that was born in Chile but left when Ricardo left when he was 2 years old or 3 years old and grew up in Germany. Okay. So they met each other and they came to visit the country. And we were the little one. I was his little brother, and I was same age as Adrian. And that's how I met Ricardo in Chile. And Ricardo was always, I live in Ibiza. And he was living here. And he was working a very, it was kind of a shop, clothing shop in Plaza del Parque. And on the second floor, there was a little tiny record store that you couldn't even stand straight because the roof was too small. And there were some records for sale. So he was working there, and he was like, come and visit me. And I was like, I was in Chile, you know, I was like, why not should I pay a visit? And I remember...
But you were, sorry if I interrupt you were already into the music thing?
Yeah. Okay. I was already doing music, playing parties, big raves in Chile, but mostly in my country. So I came to visit to Europe because I was born in Europe. So at one point I just said, like, you know what, I just want to come and visit. Like, I still had family here and stuff.
Switzerland, right?
In Switzerland. Even if I had cousins and stuff like that. So I said, I'm going to take that chance. And at the same time pay a visit. And I had like, we can't always come to Ibiza. So I remember I came from Barcelona. I had a gig in Barcelona in 97. And I took the ferry to Ibiza. I had no idea where I was going. I remember I was like, Ricardo, you know what? I hate this tourist place. I hate this kind of thing. I'm just going to come for 3 days. We finished the music because we were making music together. We finished the track and I get the fuck out. So I got here and I always remember I was arriving with the boat and I was standing outside and I was watching the ocean and I remember dolphins swimming by the big boat.
It's
and
very romantic.
I was like, it might be a little bit nicer than what I thought.
A little bit.
So I remember we arrived in the harbor and the old harbor of Ibiza when you were arriving with the thing was straight into the harbor. And I remember always like there was old car messy. They parked and I remember Ricardo was down and I landed in this place that was really. It's just that. Forget about who was here. It was more about the beauty of it, like the white houses, the sands, the color, the smells, everything together became like, wow, you know what? I judged something that was completely wrong, and I felt in love with its nature, with its colors, with its calas, with
because
its
sometimes
freedom.
we forget that the island, it's beautiful.
I
Sometimes
think it's mainly, before anything, it's a magical, beautiful piece of nature, and there is I started falling in love with the ocean, with the walks, with the land, with everything. So Ibiza became, first of all, this. Then I had some kids that they were born here. I had my mom, she lives here. It's been 27 years of relationship that I have with this island. That is like, I spend most of my time in my life, I've spent it in Ibiza, I think. So.
Oh, really?
It's like home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
if
that.
No, if I measure the amount of time that I travel,
it's a weird mix, Chile and Switzerland, right?
It's
two countries completely different. I don't know Chile.
Different.
I don't know Chile, but I know Switzerland.
Yeah, it's really, really different. But
it helped you. It helped you somehow.
It's useful. Yeah.
I could imagine it. Why is it? Why is it useful?
Because I'm on I would say on a professional and now I would say that also Chile, but I'm the kind of like very strict and organized and kind of like settle things when I put something in my head.
That's the Switzerland part.
I always say it's the Swiss side. Even my Chilean friend says the Swiss side, arriving on time and shit like this. But at the same time, it's not true. Because I have many of my friends, like tons of my best friends, they're from Chile also, and they're also super tight, they're super hardworking. So it's just some stupid thing that I say in my head. And the messy side, of course, is the Chilean side.
The creative, maybe.
I think, it's both of worlds. I wouldn't have been able to do what I do without the knowledge of both worlds.
It's a balance.
It's a balance. I was very lucky to have this, and I'm my entire family has been immigrants from different places. My great grandfather is Palestinian, so I still have a Palestinian second family name. So we are migrants from the world, carrying cultures of different things, of different surrounding, different like unexpected combination, and I love that. I love about that.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. As a DJ, I can tell that you are one of my favorite ever, and I tell you why, because of the groove, and. The groove, how can we explain the groove? The groove is, explain it.
Well, I think it's...
your point of view about the groove.
It's the groove is super interesting, and it's something that we use it a lot in our music, and especially in electronic music. I think groove is even more related to house music. It's hard to say groove in techno or something that is more industrial.
Exactly.
So groove it's coming something that comes from house music, but the house music comes from disco, come from all this music, and even in Afro music or Latin music, you still have a groove. And for me, groove is a feeling. It's something that suddenly you feel, your whole body feels suddenly like it's like almost like being possessed by something that makes you move, and it's warm, and it's like
it's a kind of hypnotic also.
100%.
And rolling.
Yeah.
And rolling. You are the roller. To me, you are. I always consider you a roller. That the wave is growing. It's going long mixes.
Yeah.
And technically talking, is if I can tell, you really introduced that shit. I mean,
do you know
because before it was more. Let me finish because I want you to get to the point because I'm very curious as a DJ. I'm very curious as a DJ. Till one point, we had people, very good DJs, playing one track after the other. Mm-hmm. And we get to the point that Luciano came over with this thing that you didn't know when one track was finishing and the new track was coming up, And this was coming inside, getting out, inside, getting out, inside, getting out. You were like, oh my God, I'm getting so, and then boom, dropping. But the drop was not a loud drop, a vulgar drop. It was a drop that was more a feeling of a drop.
100% is a feeling.
Did I describe perfectly?
Yeah, perfectly. and to be honest, I've learned that in the studio, by making music, because when everybody calls it minimal music, there's different layers in house, minimal, techno, whatever
exactly.
it is. And the hardest things to do, and that's where I compose music, is when I'm in the studio and you take a 16 bar, the shorter, the harder it is. So if you take an 8 bar,
right,
a 16 bar, 64 bar, or 128 bar, and you make a loop out of it.
Right.
The moment the music becomes interesting is when you manage and you're capable of creating a loop, and the shorter, the harder. So if I'm able, and that's where I'm making most of my music. If I do an 8-bar loop and it becomes timeless, then I know that I'm making something good.
Something good.
If you make I every time I hear music, it's horrible. It's a nightmare. My head is a nightmare inside because I decompose every track. So yeah, I hear a track on that is number, and I'm like snare, I see all the. It's mathematics. So it's like everywhere.
What do you use?
I use anything from Pro Tools, Logic, Cubase to Ableton, whatever, or to Sampler, whatever it is. But I decompose the music. So the moment you have the capability of creating the shorter things, and suddenly the loop becomes timeless. So I'm sometimes I have my studio home, the kids running around,
you dance, right?
And I leave it, and it's rolling, but I can't say where it starts and when it ends, and it feels that I can play it and play it and play it and play it. Then you start to compose music, and then it starts to become interesting. So based on that, I've always tried to reproduce the same thing with the
sets, the DJ sets.
So it's about, first of all, the combination of music that you put together. It's a lot of music knowledge that you need to have. Then also, you need to be flexible. So it doesn't matter if you try different things from different genres. There's no judgment in music. Music is something that is absolutely free, and you shouldn't be classifying things. It's like it's music is something incredible and it's free. So it's just about having this ability of putting things together, and the more unexpected things happen, the better the memory will be. Okay,
of course.
as for me, when I'm doing also things and something happens,
like, oh, wow.
That's where I'm like, wow, that's the feeling that I'm gonna get from that night, and that's why I always say, everybody's like with this AI thing and blah blah blah.
What do you think? What do you think about AI?
So, I mean, I know that the greatest tracks and the greatest things are made out of mistakes, and AI has not the ability to create mistakes.
Wow!
So this is something that we have, human, is to make mistakes, and those mistakes generally are making great things. You can even read Quincy Jones or whoever, even probably Mozart. They've made shit out of mistakes, and they didn't know, or something happened, they didn't think, and boop, wait, but it's cool. It's actually working. So AI, I've been testing AI. I've been testing the boundaries of it, and I've been trying to, push it to reproduce music, because I find it interesting. I find it fascinating. I love technology. I'm not against it.
No, I understand. I understand completely what you're saying. I got you.
You have to embrace
it.
But
these are tools.
100%,
these are tools.
But it's been always tools. Like the same day that the drum machine came, the drummer was like, "Hey, what do you want a fucking drum machine?" It's fucking incredible.
And
then you have a whole new thing appearing. So I've used it, and I pushed the boundaries to see what do you understand of what we do, or how far do you get this incredible world of electronic music or dance music. So some genre of music, some style of music it's very dangerous to them, because it reproduces like this in 2 seconds.
We're going to hear all the same.
Better tracks, better things. It's because it's so easy to uncompose the music. It's like, okay, the kicks are here, the hi-hats are here. So AI can do that. But the music that is created on mistakes, feeling, and it's just like
an energy
or
flow.
It's just like a feeling. AI do not understand that yet.
But did technology help you in reproducing this kind of feeling you're describing in the studio, in the decks, in the booth? What did you use? For example, back in Vagabundos, I was there a lot of times. What were you using? The CD player?
No,
you were using Ableton.
No. I was for me. I was anything that comes. I take.
Whatever.
I take. So back in the days, I was working with. I've been always working with Native Instruments very close.
Okay.
And there was a discussion about syncing, because syncing was not here yet. So there was this discussion that, do you manage to sync we were still with the turntable. So you had a native instrument that came out with the very first
I remember.
Tractor DJ.
Yeah, Tractor, yeah.
So you could play literally a track, but you couldn't sync. It was just like reproducing.
Yeah.
You had to pitch it.
Yeah.
Until one point that I remember, and we have that video, that even the people from Native flew over to Switzerland. Because we were like, it was Richie, it was myself, we were a few guys that we were really fighting to find this point where you could sync literally your record with something external. So I remember with an RG45, an Ethernet cable, we managed for the first time to have an external computer,
right,
Ableton, running with the pitch. So I was like literally pitching 8 less, and Ableton was slowing down, but without losing any latency. Means like there was almost no delay with things. So you could finally, you can
get it matched.
You can fucking bring the shit to the next level.
Because you were playing some grooves underneath,
well,
right?
I could. A lot of people don't know, but from 2000 to 2006, I was known here. My beginning of the career in Europe for playing live. I was a live
I remember that.
artist,
I remember that.
okay?
That's why I'm asking.
So I was playing a lot of live performance and shit in Berlin and blah blah blah. So it was always DJing for me was too easy. It was always like
complicate yourself.
That's like that's bullshit. It's just syncing two things. Music was always my thing. But you can't live out of music. Music is way harder because of internet, because of this. You can't sell records, so you need to go to the people. And it was also a great thing because I can make music and I can go and spin it and test the music and see what's trendy, what's not trendy, how is the reaction to people. So the combination of both is fantastic. I wouldn't do one or I wouldn't do the other.
The other one. You need to do both.
Yeah, I need to do both together.
And what about this approach you have with the music? Talking about Cadenza.
So Cadenza was
and the crew. Don't forget. I mean,
Cadenza,
I'm a good friend of Michel.
Yeah,
I know Michel very well.
Cool. Yeah.
Reboot and
Cadenza was born because it was music that got rejected. Okay, so it was literally I did this track Orange Mistake with Philippe, and I sent it to a few labels, and they were no, they didn't want it. Then I was like, you know what? My sister, she was finishing her studies in Chile for graphic design, and she needed an object to present for the final of a study.
So I was like, really? As an exam?
As an exam, yeah. So I'm like, why don't we do a vinyl? You do the graphic, I put the music down, and we make a vinyl. And we never, ever wanted to do a label. Never, ever wanted to do a label. So we pressed the record, finished the record, we put it out, and it boomed. It became #1 in Germany, in Groove Magazine, blah, blah, blah. It was just like everywhere. And we were like, suddenly like thousands of people like writing us like, hey, what's this label? And we're like, I have no fucking clue how to run a label. I don't know where to start, where to end. And that's how it started, actually. We never had the pretension. And once we engaged, I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this as a platform because we were known, and that's also something I wanted to say about Ibiza. When I came here, to the point now in 2026 where I didn't step out, but I stepped out of residency. At one point, I took a decision to say, I'm not a resident anymore, as having my own party, having my own thing. Because back in the days, when I came here for the first time with a few on Ricardo, Richie, Sven, we were a very little group, and we brought a new sound. This sound was not the sound of Ibiza, okay? Ibiza was a lot of New York garage house, like Murillo, all these things.
I remember very well.
There was also Sasha Digweed, this progressive trance from UK. It was a different sound. So when we came with this kind of like minimum Latin, whatever weirdo things that it was, that for us, it was we always got inspired by Derek May, like Little Vega, Masters at Work. Those was our school.
Yeah, but you took something different.
We just is an interpretation of what we heard.
It's different, right?
But it was new.
I love Vega. But
everything that I was doing with the teams or whatever it was, the parties that we did before Ushuaia at La Plage, before Ushuaia Open, to Vagabundos, to DC-10 residency, it was just like we had everybody coming to the thing. It was like coming at school because people, they were like absorbing for something new, and people were really curious and enjoying it, and this was creating unity. So we felt we're uniting people. We really
a movement.
Exactly.
A movement.
Then I arrived to a point that I was like,
it's not a movement anymore.
It's dividing. Okay? So I'm dividing people. I'm saying to all the people that came because they learned something, now everybody's doing their own party. And everybody's doing the same thing because it's the same lineup, same DJ, same thing. I see because everybody's requesting me for every single party on the island. And which I appreciate. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm very, very, very humble and grateful to say that. But what I'm saying is just that the proposition it became for me a division. So it was like, oh, I can't because you need to be exclusive for this. You need to. It's like, what exclusive for what? It's like this is a niche where we all came from, where we all learned from, and we are being asked to divide now. So I said, I'm out. I've done my job. I've done my part. I've created something, and now I'm free, and I have the freedom today. I'm playing every week, but I'm playing once for all the friends, for all the club.
And it's a challenge also for yourself.
No exclusivity, and I can share with everybody also, which is very important.
And it's a challenge also, no?
It is a challenge.
You did a lot of back-to-back lately, right?
Yeah. I'm opening up to the back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I was always very, very close because I always find that back-to-back, sometimes promoters are just like calling, they're like, oh, you need to be a back-to-back. I'm like, first of all, more than two people, I don't do it because it's a record every fucking 20 minutes. I just can't do it. I get bored. I'd rather go to sleep or I don't know.
I understand.
So I just make back-to-back. And the second thing is you need to have a personal relationship. You need to know the person because it can destroy the party also. If you do a back-to-back with this, because it sounds obvious and it sounds nice on paper, but there's no musical relationship.
No connection, no relationship.
It's not productive to the party. And we are at the service of the people. So remember, people pay an entrance. This is, thank God, because of that, we exist and we can make out of music.
You have to do your best to make that happen.
100%. So sometimes I'm very, it needs to be, I need first to have a personal relation with.
But you define a line before, or you just talk about everything?
I never.
You talk about everything but music, right?
Never.
You just need to have. You just need to have a feeling with the person.
100%. If I can't,
but you don't talk about what you're gonna do.
No. I need to be able to laugh, to joke, to have fun, and it has to be a good moment.
To feel comfortable.
To feel comfortable. Yeah. If not, it's like just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's counterproductive, I think. And sometimes it becomes like this super trend of everybody and I'm like, until a certain point it's okay, but I still feel everybody has there's a huge responsibility here behind, and sometimes, especially those days, I can see that choices of lineups. It's just like music used to be the front page. Now, music is the last page. So now it's like, how many social media you have? How many things, how many follow, how many reshare, how many things? Music. So it's like, music is the most important thing, is the front line. I remember back in the days when I used to spin records. You know, sometimes I would spend 5 years and I didn't know the face of the guy that was making the music. Because I only knew the music by names and it was a mysterious thing. And I love this mysterious
And we were reading.
And I was like, oh my God.
I was reading the credits.
And the day that I met the guy, I was meeting God. You know, it was like something like really incredible. The day I had Theo Parrish here was just God, I was peeing myself, like literally. So. But today's like, it's music became the last thing. So there's a face, there's a look, there's a following, there's a trend,
which is good somehow, you know. I mean, which is something, but we lost the balance. Maybe we lost the.
Music is the first.
It's a lot of more of that, instead of
music
the other.
is the first thing, but it you know, it happened in rhythm and blues also before radio existed, before TV existed. Totally right. It happened in all the history of music. So it's just
talking about this. The island has changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot, and now there's some small venues that's growing.
Yeah,
a lot of people talking about small venues in the island.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Big rooms, small rooms, in many ways. What do you think about the business side? I mean, and even the DJ side. You prefer large room, big, both? I can say both. If I know you, I would say both.
To be honest, I like it. The first thing is I'm grateful because I'm reaching a certain age, and I'm still present on the scene. I'm still making my job. I'm still having people in the room. So I'm truly grateful. Thanks because of that, I can feed my kids, have a family, make my passion, have a studio. So I'm really grateful, and I'm doing this with a lot of responsibility behind my head, I would say.
And respect to the crowd.
And respect to the crowd, and I'm always make sure that I do my best. I always give 100% of what I intend to do. So I can take small party, I can take a wedding party, I can take a big room, I can take a techno room, I can take an after party.
You are the kind of guy that may like to change a lot, right?
I love that. And I think the real capacity of a DJ is play for people that has never heard electronic music, I can do it. Play for reggae music, I can do it. Play ambient music, I can do it. Play disco, play this, play that. And the capacity of a DJ is having a musical knowledge that is wise enough in order to create something. So I'm always to this. If I have to choose, daytime.
Daytime, right?
It's my favorite thing.
Daytime.
Daytime, small thing, party, really good sound system, and freedom. That's it.
Daytime. And let's talk about daytime. Let's talk about Ushuaia, early beginning, because I remember very well. That thing could never happen now.
I know, unfortunately.
What do you think? It's a shame, or you think it's natural that it's gonna happen?
No. I don't think it's natural.
Later?
I think it's it's like rhythm and blues. Okay, let's go back to rhythm and blues. Okay, so you had Robert Johnson, who is like the inventor of house music. Okay, so Robert Johnson, his job was like, okay, I have a guitar. You know what? I'm gonna knock at the door of the people, and I'll entertain you for like 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. I play you a few songs, and you give me money. Okay. So that's house music. Was born on the idea of like going from house to house to house, and I play music. And at one point, this whole thing becomes bigger because it starts to be known. So then it becomes a business. Then it becomes an industry. And once an industry starts to happen, then there's a lot of formalized things that starts to happen. And that's exactly what happened here. At the beginning, there was this freedom from the 70s of nobody cared. Ibiza was not a place for money. Ibiza was a place that people used to come because it was cheap. It was a hidden gem in the middle of the thing, an escape. And that's what was Ibiza. It was like people that used to work here for the season. It was like working for 3 days, scratching your balls for 4 days, and going around.
Which is not bad.
Which is not bad at all. And that was the whole
Enjoy
point of Ibiza.
life.
Enjoy life and share and discover something and create communion, create community. And that was Ibiza. And by the time... nobody gave a fuck about like the time of closing, the time of opening. So there was this lot of freedom. And while the business was growing, I remember the last free party we did in Playa Mbosa, we had almost like 10,000 people before the year that Ushuaia opened. And that was when actually everything happened that night. So that could never happen again, because suddenly like, wait, there's a huge potential, and everybody starts to formalize. Everybody also starts to complain about each other's. When all the complaint gets to the table of the people that has to take decisions, like, okay, well, you know what, we're bored. Let's put rules for everybody, same shit. And you start to narrow your circle of things, and suddenly it becomes an environment that is fully controlled, and you can't say yes, you can't say no. So that's...
There's any place in the world, you travel a lot, we were talking about traveling, but there's any place in the world where you can find that kind of freedom that maybe...
Yeah. There's still, I mean, last party really I had like that I really had like a lot of fun was also in Thailand for Circo Loco in Phuket, because we were like also in the mangrove. I was playing music like openly. There was no time for closing, small thing, and it was just a fantastic thing, and I loved it actually. But there are places in the world still where that freedom exists, but it just needs to, it takes time to build community. So yeah.
It does. What about traveling? Explain me, because these things are very curious for people. They don't do the work you do.
Yeah.
You travel a lot.
Yeah.
You just flew from Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, Costa Rica.
Yeah, for example. And how do you handle it? How do you?
There's no trick.
There's any trick? There's
no
There's
trick.
anything that you do all
There's
the
no
time.
Trick. There's no trick.
You come, you sleep, and then you go, and then.
There's no trick.
You have no rules.
There's
It
no
depends
trick.
how is your feeling.
There's no trick. So no. What I said about the travel is that there's no trick. There's everybody keeps asking. There's absolutely no trick, and it's probably one of the hardest parts of that job is the fact that you sleep little. There's no trick against like jet lags and stuff like that. The only thing I found out, and I'm also speaking as a father of 7 kids, also on the other side, so it's even harder to balance. But the only trick that I found is like if I go to play to Tokyo, for example.
Okay.
Back in the day, I always said I had one rule. Every place I go for the first time, I stay more than 3 days and 4 days because I need to see it.
Before.
I used to do this long time ago.
You used to come before the gig.
Not
3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, 3 days before, or I would stay 4 days after in order just to see the place, for personal interest in culture.
Of course.
But I've been mostly everywhere. So now, after a few years, what I've discovered, if I go to Tokyo, I go for less than 24 hours. Because that's the only way to not get the jet lag. So I am tired, I am extremely tired, but I'm not jet lagged. Because jet lagged is harder than being exhausted.
So this is a trick.
That's a trick. So you go back and forward, that's it. Because you don't get to, you're extremely exhausted, but you don't have this clock change. Because the clock change is the hard part.
I understand.
Yeah.
And what about coming from a silent room, get into a car, and then you get into a place with maybe 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people. Yeah. What's your feeling when you get into the club? You get somehow nervous?
Oh, yeah, every time. Still today.
You get nervous?
Of course, 100%. And the day that I was
scared?
Not scared, but nervous. Yeah. Because I think the day that I stop to be nervous, I'll just stop doing what I do. That's it.
I agree 100%.
It's something that it's part of this connection.
And you know what's going to be the first track you're going to play? Just the first one?
Well, the funny thing is like, it's that, for example, generally when I get like, and all people who knows me, they know that it's always happened. For example, the moment that I get the pickup, from the moment that I get the pickup at home or wherever, at the hotel or wherever I'm going, I'm generally very silent. It's like everybody's like super chatty. Oh, yeah, we're going to the party. And me, I'm generally in the car.
You get into the
concentrate. But the funny thing is like I'm there. I'm like, okay, what's going to be the first track?
That's why you're silent.
So I'm in silent, and I'm because people don't know that. But the art of DJing is a lot of concentration because people are living a moment. Okay, so they're constantly here, but the DJ is constantly here. So the present is something that he actually managed before in his head, and you're always ahead of what's going to happen.
Of course, because when you play, sorry if I interrupt you, but when you play the first record, you know in how many records you want to get to another point, right?
You know, exactly.
You have to build up. You have to build up something.
Exactly. So you're building up something, and you have a time that has been given you. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. And you have to be able to stretch this 5, 6 hours in your head and more or less not know the track that you're going to do, but what you're going to do.
But the mood, the wave.
The energy-wise that you're going to do. So you're always ahead of the present. So you're always thinking and trying to put things in front in order to compose something and to get people somewhere. Not getting also overexcited, because a lot of people I see like, they want to come and like...
And then?
And then what?
In 5 hours, and then?
What?
So it's better, you know?
So it's a lot of concentration and calmness and
make it grow
exactly.
And make it grow in. That's your style. I know you very well. But lately, I heard a couple of your sets. You change a little.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, but lately maybe a little bit more. You get more.
Always.
You're getting more funky, is it?
Always. I will always. I mean, I always came. My first true hero in my life, what really got me into DJing was Derek May, actually. Wow. So Derek May was a mixture of. It was not techno. It was not.
No, it's not techno.
It's
more electronic.
It's
and,
like weird
but funky
techno.
Yeah,
weird.
It is.
It was a Detroit sound.
Yeah, exactly.
That there was really no one really had, and for me was that guy really fucking blew my head. And then, of course, Masters at Work, that they had all these Latin influences and thing. So I always came from more from a house background, but that was always my thing. Then for some reason, I tried to make house, but it ended up being a minimal house, whatever.
Micro.
Because that was my vision of
house.
what I was trying to do. But it was always a house thing. I that for me, in terms of grooves, it comes from that, and it's a very warm music. It's a very something that you really feel like. And
you're
like
a very party guy, yeah.
And I love that. Yeah.
No, the mood that you leave when you go to a Luciano set is that thing. It's smiling.
It's party, yeah.
It's smiling, vibing.
For sure.
Some big moments, but everything is always very.
But to be honest, that's why I like daytime, because I always believe that daytime.
Because it's better in the daytime. Explain me this.
So why daytime? Is because I think daytime. First of all, we are we are a diurno. I don't know how to say it. We are like an animal, a daytime animal. Okay, course. Human is a daytime animal. Course. We're not made for nighttime. Okay, so I believe that this is more coherent when it comes to our clockwise. Okay,
right.
Second thing, I love when you can see people's face, okay? So daytime, you see people's face. You don't have to hide in dark and thing. And you see smiles, you see the colors are more beautiful, the girls, the boys, everybody's more beautiful in daytime.
But this was also when you were young, or something
always.
that...
It's been always.
Like
Night, I had no choice, so I had to go over night.
Yeah, of course.
But my choice, that's why. That's why... Ushuaia. That's why all those things, they were like, no. For me, forget about that. Put me in the day. And I was to all the manager, all the people that I had around me. I'm like, I just want to do daytime. And also, the music sounds better. Music is more colorful, is more melody, is more things, and it has more colors. So I've been always like, music sounds better in the day.
Because you can go maybe slow, maybe
you can go
more.
slower, you can go warmer, you can go colorful, you can go. There's tons of things. Night is more narrow, and night also is people. I can't sleep.
Yeah,
so like,
I understand this. Listen, what are you going to do this summer in Ibiza?
So this summer, I'm mainly playing with all little bits of my friends. I'm playing with a group of Ushuaia. I'm playing with the group of Pasha. I'm playing at Destino. I'm playing at DC10. I'm playing at
everywhere.
I've been resident in all these clubs, and I want to be sharing little piece with everybody. And I think that's the idea that when I started doing my shit here was sharing things, and the philosophy I have now is back to sharing with everybody.
This is very nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
This is very nice.
I'm also super happy with it.
I don't know. There's something else you want to say. We spoke a lot. There's something else you
there's,
want to focus on. You have a show on
something...
Ibiza Global. This is the podcast. You have a show on Ibiza Global Radio. Let's say this.
Exactly.
Just because we're here.
Yeah. And also, there's something I really wanted to share is that I had like 3 years ago, I had a very sad episode. I had flooding in my house, my studio. I literally lost everything that I had.
I know that.
And we've been rebuilding and reworking on things. So it's now since 4 or 5 months.
And you found things you forgot.
Well, no. I always had backs up on hard drives. And I have about like 450 tracks that I never released. And it's my whole team. They're like, "What are you doing?" It's like the same thing. I started exposing photography.
I saw that.
So I have a whole team pushing me, and thank God I have my team behind me, pushing me to do things. Because if not, I'm not doing anything. But anyway, what I did is I rebuilt a studio with this Dolby Atmos recording. So I've been finally recording with 14 speakers, which is and you know I never had that feeling since I discovered the first drum machine. When I got the first drum machine in my hands, I had the same excitement than that day, 3 months ago, that I sat down and I started recording I've been recording my whole life, with almost 30 years on.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing
2
that.
speakers, okay?
Me too, yeah.
Now,
I'm surrounded.
I'm 14 speakers plus showers.
And what's the feeling? You are totally inside of the music.
Well, first of all, is all the artists that comes to my house, they're like, I can't go back to
my studio.
It's impossible, because it is the obvious future of music. But it's just that I'm a little bit ahead of it, and the unfortunate thing is like everything that I record now cannot be heard anywhere else because there's not many places. Everybody thinks it's too expensive. You're so stupid spending on this and that. I'm like, no, it's not. First of all, the place where you most hear music in your life, in the world, is in headphones. It's not in speakers. Okay, most music is heard on headphones. Headphones and something called binaural. Binaural is like a psychoacoustic that makes you kind of think, your brain that thinks that you are in an open space, but it reproduces what is the atmos. Then you have brands like Sonos or like cheaper things that they are like system for home, that they are reproducing already the surrounding. And it's just like
it's unbelievable.
It's another game. It's a
you may think this could
like
be the future.
I don't think it is
sure?
the future. 100%.
You're sure, 100%.
100%.
So I think we're gonna have this kind of clubs.
I went like last year to.
So even the design. Sorry if I interrupt you. So even the design of the clubs may change. What do you think? The design of the club need to be changed, or
the club is a different thing, because the only issue or the only question with the surround system is, in order to experience the full thing, you need to be sitting on one point. Okay, that's in order to have the full experience. If you're sitting on a corner, you're gonna experience a different thing. But there are different ways that have been thought in order to create an experience on it, for sure. So
maybe the sound system should be maybe further.
There's ideas of octagonal, of different
further
things,
and the dance floor smaller
100%.
Inside, right?
Or having a DJ was in the center. There's tons of things in option, and lots of brands are.
This is a big new.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of people already on it, like Acoustics, Mayer, like lots of people are working tightly in order to bring something. I went to the North Pole. Was it maybe 1.5 years ago?
Yeah, I remember.
I went recording sounds actually in Extinction, okay, which is somehow it's bullshit because it's like but it was a true experience to go to the North Pole, especially with
to the North Pole. It's a big thing.
With Mike Horn. Mike Horn is one of the greatest explorers from our century. So I went with him like for this incredible time, and when recording with immersive sound, and I did an 80-minute album with symphonic orchestra and everything, and in Dolby Atmos. It's like, I always felt when I was a kid, for some reason when I was born, they were always paradise house. You know, this idea they speak to you. I grew up in a Catholic country, and for me, paradise was somehow I could imagine my soul in the clouds, and being in the clouds was paradise for me. Okay, and when I first heard and managed, and I'm mixing myself. I'm in my studio. I don't have engineers. There's no.
You do yourself. I know.
I'm myself on my own. When I managed finally to pull out those recording on an immersive thing, I felt to that place. I was in the clouds when I was a kid.
Paradise.
It's paradise, really. It is paradise because you.
And your face while you're talking about this.
Because I felt like I'm floating.
You're becoming like a kid. You're super excited. And this is very nice. It's very nice. You've been around for years, and you still get
I love music.
And you still get so excited.
You know what I always said because I have also so many kids, I always said, the funny thing is that music, before language, is a form of communication. Because the kids, I see my kids, before they even speak a word, I put music, they're already moving or dancing and stuff like that. So it's already a form of transcription of something. We don't know what it is.
Even the dancing thing. The dancing thing is totally
easy.
connected to our roots, to our, if you go in Africa, they play drums. You know, so.
From the Homo sapiens to 2026.
It's part of us.
Exactly.
It's part of our soul. 100%. It was very nice to have you here.
Pleasure, really.
It was a real pleasure. Super cool. Good luck for everything. And thank you for spreading so much love for music.
That's cool.
And for this word.
That's cool.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Luciano, the magic one.